We are going to review business letters today. Remember, a business letter has a 2-inch top margin, so you need to move your cursor down an inch by hitting the Enter key. The first part of a letter is the address. The address should have the month spelled out, followed by a space, the day of the month, comma, a space, and then the year. This is the only appropriate address for a business letter. You will then have a quadruple space, which means you return down 4 times if you are set at single space in your paragraph, and then you will type on the 4th line, which will leave you 3 blank lines. The next part is the inside address. The inside address consists of the courtesy title and first and last name of the person who the letter is to. This may also have a person's job title here also. After that, you'll have the person's address and their city, state, and zip code. Following that, you will have a double space and the salutation. The salutation is generally dear, their courtesy title, and their last name. Following, we have mixed punctuation in this letter, which means that you'll have a colon following the Dear Miss Banks. If you have open punctuation, there will be nothing here. This letter has a subject line. The subject line is a double space below the salutation, and it is in all caps. Following that, you have a double space, and then the letter is single space with a double space between new paragraphs. Once you are done with the letter, you will double space and put the complimentary close, which consists generally of the word sincerely. Since we are using mixed punctuation, remember the colon up here after the dear? Well, we have to have the other mixed part of the punctuation here, which is a comma. If we are in open punctuation, there will be no punctuation mark here. After the sincerely and the comma, we are going to quadruple space, and then we'll type the letter writer's name here. After the letter writer's name, we will double space, and next are the reference initials. Remember, the reference initials are the initials of the person who types the letter. Remember, these must be lowercase, because if they are all caps, that means not only did you type the letter, you wrote the letter for this person. So generally, when you are working out of the textbooks, you will not be writing letters, so we want lowercase letters. We are going to add today an enclosure notation. The enclosure notation goes a double space below the reference initials. Notice when I hit enter there that it capitalizes that first X in my reference initials. If I go back up and delete that and then put it back in, it will leave it in lowercase. Now the enclosure notation is just the word enclosure, and all it does is tell you that you are going to enclose something in the envelope with the letter. Now this will always be referenced in the body of the letter. So if I come up here, you'll see in the second paragraph it says, it was very difficult squeezing everything into a 1-week unit. See enclosure. See right here it talks about an enclosure? Well, that tells you that I'm going to enclose something with the letter into the envelope. So I'm going to put an enclosure notation down here. Now, the last part I have is a copy notation. A copy notation is telling me that I'm going to send a copy of this letter to somebody else. And that goes a double space below the enclosure notation. And all it is the lowercase c, and then I'm going to space twice after that. Now notice it changed it to the capital C. That's Microsoft being Microsoft. Just go back, put it back, and it'll stay C. And then I put the letter, or the name of the person who I'm going to send a copy of this to. If it is more than one person, when I go to the next letter, now notice there that it put another page in. If that happens while you type a letter, that means your 2-inch top margin is too big. Just take a couple of your spaces out to give you more room in your letter. Now, what I'm going to do for this second person, back to the copy notation, is I want their names lined up. So I'm going to space over till I get to the J in Juan, and then I can put the next name of the person who I'm going to also send a copy to. And now I am done with my letter. In the bottom I have my complimentary close, the letter writer's name, my reference initials, an enclosure notation, and a copy notation.